Yo, what's up, everybody? So, this is the moment we've been waiting for. One Piece chapter 1069 dropped, and it's some talking points in there. So, before we get started, go ahead and drop a like on the video and make sure you subscribe. We're on our way to 100 subscribers before the year is over. So, if you got it in your heart, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications, and let's get straight into it.
Hey, listen!
Yeah, so we start the chapter off and it's mayhem, right? They saw Rob Lucci completely one-shot Atlas and people are freaking out. Of course, the Straw Hats take notice of this immediately. They're like, yo, what is Cypher Pole doing here? And that's when they come to realize Vegapunk, he was absolutely right. The Cypher Pole actually is here to eliminate him. And Rob Lucci now is saying, yo, like, Straw Hat, what are you doing here? And Luffy has the same feeling. Yo, what are you doing here? And Lucci's like, bro, this is a government island. I'm supposed to be here. And, you know, Luffy does come to that conclusion like, yeah, it is a little weird that us as pirates, we're here on a government island. But Kaku actually chimes in here and he was like, oh man, this is annoying. The Straw Hat crew is definitely gonna get in our way, but Lucci, don't lay a finger on them. Now that Straw Hat is a Yonko, it's just gonna be problems if you get into a fight with him. It has to be issued by the world government if you want to actually get into a fight with these guys. And Stussy actually chimes in here as well, and she's saying, you know what, Kaku, you're right. Even if we got into a fight with one of his subordinates, now that they're subordinates of a Yonko crew, this will turn into an all-out war. And I gotta say, you gotta give it up, because every time Luffy gets mentioned in the story as an actual Yonko, it's a big deal, right? Like, you can't touch one of Luffy's subordinates or it's gonna turn into an all-out war. Like, Luffy can start a whole war. Like, this is Ace all over again. But speaking of Luffy, he actually sees Atlas destroyed on the ground. So RIP Atlas. And Luffy gets pissed. Luffy's telling Rob Lucci, hey, you know who the hell you just touched? This girl, she gave us food. And you know Luffy's big on food. So Rob Lucci actually responds. He's like, yo, shut the hell up. This is an internal government affair. This has nothing to do with you. So the stare-off begins. From here, we actually cut to Marineford, and Akainu is being informed of the situation. And of course, we go through this with Akainu a lot. We see that he gets informed. He's just like, oh, the situation is worse than we thought, but he never actually does anything. Well, at the end of this moment, he actually is looking for Kizaru, and Kizaru's actually already on his way to Egghead Island, bro. Kizaru's tired of sitting on the porch, and Kizaru is about to take action. Definitely fits with Kizaru's character. Like, he's got this weird, like, super spacey feel to him, but he is the Marine Admiral that will pull up if need be. But from here, we cut back to the fight that just started between Rob Lucci and Luffy, and we actually get a small panel of the peripheral Straw Hat crew. They're watching the fight go down on TV, and they're saying, wow, like, this isn't how Lucci looked before. And Shaka actually chimes in here, and he's saying, wow, this is a really rare sight to see. This is a Zoan awakening, and a lot of the times when Zoans awaken, they actually lose their own personality. But Lucci and Luffy, that doesn't seem to be the case. In our next panel, we get a panel of Rob Lucci looking badass in his awakening form. He does have the black clouds surrounding him, similar to Luffy's white clouds that were surrounding him in awakening form. And to be honest, it's kind of similar to the way Kaido was looking in his hybrid form. So I'm thinking Kaido was definitely probably awakened. I mean, Kaido did kind of give Luffy the game on awakenings, and he was able to recognize Luffy's awakening as a Zone awakening as well. So I'm starting to think, yeah, maybe Kaido was awakened. Maybe Oda just didn't establish it, but he probably was. But anyways, here the OG Vegapunk actually shows up in the lab, and he's asking Shaka if the white form of Luffy showed up. We know that he's talking about Luffy's Gear 5th form awakening, and Shaka's saying, yeah, he's here, and he's asking Nami, what form is this called? And Nami's like, dude, I don't know what to tell tell you, we're just getting used to seeing this form ourselves. And Nami's like, isn't this the power of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, right? And Vegapunk here is like, there's been no record of the Gomu Gomu no Mi in the ancient Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. So we know that the Gomu Gomu no Mi, it probably never existed, right? Or else it would have been recorded in the encyclopedia. With a closer look, Vegapunk is saying, yo, this is such a beautiful form, and it looks just like what they describe to be a god in the ancient documents. Now, we know that this is the ancient god Nika. You know, Luffy is the Nika fruit wielder. So Luffy's definitely gonna be the key to a lot of things from here on out. I think Shaka responds and he's like, yes, this is the warrior of liberation, otherwise known as the sun god Nika, the warrior that puts a smile on everybody's face and is always playful. As long as people continue to yearn for him, its existence will never disappear. And bruh, this is deep, bruh. We never looked at Luffy like this before, like some sort of foreseen warrior. Like, bro, Luffy is basically the prince who was promised at this point, bro. And Nami here is like, yo, I've never heard of this. And Vegapunk is like, of course you've never heard of it. That name has been erased from history. And he goes on to say that devil fruits are actually the representation of the powers that humans never received in evolution, right? They're the powers that humans always wanted to evolve to. And because of that, the sea hates devil fruit. The sea is the mother of all nature, and because of that, the sea constantly hates devil fruits because devil fruits are a representation of what the sea never gave them. And he goes on to say that these devil fruit users, they're creatures on another scale that a bunch of people have only wished to achieve. And this is Oda reaffirming that, yeah, I established Haki in the story to combat devil fruit users, and Haki users are strong, but the main power system for One Piece is devil fruit. The reason why Blackbeard, lived his whole life was in search of devil fruits. He killed Thatch and betrayed his family for devil fruits. Devil fruits, you gotta have them, bro. Like, Haki users are cool too, and you need Haki. Don't get it twisted. You need Haki. But devil fruits are the main course in this story. As the fight continues, we cut to Vegapunk remotely speaking to Sentomaru, who now is in command of the S-Shark, the S-Hawk, and the S-Snake. And Vegapunk's telling Sentomaru, can you basically get rid of CP0 off this island? And Sentomaru's like, won't that make me a defector as well? And Vegapunk goes on to explain, you're right, I guess I really should have thought about that. But it was me that kind of helped you out when you had nothing. I kind of lifted you out of obscurity, so what are you gonna do now? And Sentomaru understandably is like, that's a lot of pressure you're putting on me. Anyways, Kaku analyzes the situation with Sentomaru, and he actually commands the S-Bear to attack them. And Stussy's like, yo, it's really no use. We're clearly at a disadvantage. They have 3 Seraphim, we have 1. But before he's even able to do anything with the S-Bear, Sentomaru orders the S-Bear to attack them. And then Kaku explains, oh yeah, that's right. The authority chip that Sentomaru has outranks our authority chip, so they have no control over the S-Bear. They basically delivered a weapon that is used against them, and the S-Bear opens fire on them. Now they're on defense, and Stussy goes on to explain that the rank of authority that the Seraphim abide by is different from that of the Pacifists. The Pacifists' rank of authority is number 1, the 5 Elder Star, number 2, Dr. Vegapunk, of course, Stella and the satellite. Number 3 is Sentomaru, and number 4 is the holder of the authority chip. In this case, that would be the Cypher Poles or whoever has the authority chip at the time. But with the Seraphim, the rank, it seems to be flipped, and the holder of the authority chip seems to have the majority of the power. So therefore, even if the 5 elders gave them a command with the transponder snail, the Seraphim are just gonna look at the command like it's invalid. Anyways, the fight between Lucci and Luffy continues, and Luffy actually hits Lucci with a new move called the Mogura pistol. And it seems like Luffy sent his fist underground, and he turns the ground into rubber, and he used the ground to hit Lucci. Yo, Luffy's gear 5th form is gonna be insane, and I can't help thinking that he got the Mogura idea from Katakuri. Right after that, we see Sentomaru give out the orders to the Seraphim, and Jinbei and Chopper are like, yo, what is that? Jinbei just can't believe his eyes that he actually sees a younger version of himself. And from here, Sentomaru actually has a conversation with Luffy, and Luffy's like, hey, Axe Guy. And Sentomaru is like, yo, don't call me that. And let's cut the chatter short. I don't know if I can trust you, but Vegapunk trusts you. And you did become an emperor, so you definitely are strong. This new form of yours, I don't really understand it. And while this is going on, Lucci actually attacks Sentomaru. He ruthlessly cuts down Sentomaru with a Shugun. I don't know if it's a Shigun or a Shugun, so I'm gonna have to wait for the official translation for that. And Lucci here is saying we just have to kill the control tower that controls the Seraphim. So Lucci already has a plan. Sentomaru is down for the count. He's completely one shot, and Lucci is not playing effing games here. He's here for Vegapunk, and he's not playing around anymore. One Piece is gonna be on a decently long break, a serialization break, so I don't think we're gonna see One Piece again until the new year, but let me know what you think down below. Was this a crazy freaking chapter or what? We got Lucci in an awakening form. Even though he's clearly not winning the battle with Luffy, he's still not a pushover. He's not a slouch. And a lot of people thought Lucci was gonna be one shot. A lot of people thought Lucci was gonna go toe to toe with Luffy. It seems to be right in the middle. Let me know what you think about the Seraphim. Let me know what you think about the secret of Devil Fruits. I mean, Vegapunk basically explained Devil Fruits to us in this chapter. So if anything, drop a like on the video for that. Make sure you subscribe. Yo, I appreciate you guys. You're doing so good. You're helping me get to that 100 subscriber mark before the year is over. So thank you for that. Make sure you hit the notification bell for future notifications. This has been your boy, Seafood That Guy speaking. I got a flight to catch, so I will catch you guys next time. Peace.